My dearest friends, open your hearts, not just your ears, but your very souls. Let the deepest part of your being awaken, for what I share today transcends earthly wisdom. It is a divine truth, a heaven-breathed word, potent enough to shatter chains, tender enough to mend the most fractured spirit, and mighty enough to stir the calmest waters of your faith. Listen closely. When God prepares to move on your behalf, you won't be left in confusion or silence. You will witness signs, not of human design or random chance, but meticulously crafted by the hand of the Almighty Himself. The God we serve never slumbers. He doesn't overlook, forget, or abandon. His gaze never falters from your pain. His ears are perpetually attuned to the cries of His children. Psalm 121:34 assures us, He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Scripture also declares, as in Isaiah 59 verse, His arm is not too short to save, nor His ear too dull to hear. Yet we have all felt that chilling silence. We've offered prayers that seem to vanish, knocked on doors that remain stubbornly sealed, and wept beneath skies that felt like impenetrable brass. But hear this, in the powerful name of Jesus Christ, just before your breakthrough, just before heaven rends the veil to touch your life, something profound shifts. You will feel it, a palpable weight in the air, a stillness before the storm of mercy, a tremor in your spirit before the deluge of favor. Our God is not chaotic. He is intentional, strategic, and purposeful. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reminds us, for God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. Before He moves, He prepares. Before He acts, He signals. Before He releases, He aligns. So, pay meticulous attention to the whispers within your spirit, the sharpening of your focus, and the sudden detachment from distraction. These are not mere coincidences. They are sacred signs, divine signals, a holy prelude to heaven's grand invasion. The intense pressure you may feel right now, the tension gripping your spirit, the battles raging in your mind, the tears you've shed in the dead of night, these are not indicators of God's forgetfulness. On the contrary, they are profound signs that He is closer than you could possibly imagine. They are the contractions preceding your deliverance, the labor pains before the birth of your long-awaited promise. Just as a woman experiences increasing pain and intensifying contractions before new life emerges, so too, when God is about to intervene, the adversary intensifies his fight. 1 Peter 5:8 warns us, your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. The devil will stir up discord in your home, attempt to poison your thoughts, and unleash confusion, distraction, and even betrayal. Why? He senses what's coming. He sees the heavenly host marching in your direction. He hears the trumpet of God calling your name, and he is absolutely terrified. He desperately seeks to make you surrender just before your divine rescue. But I implore you, hold on. Do not let go now. You are far too close to turn back. God's help often arrives disguised in discomfort, in unexpected ways. You prayed for strength and He provided trials to forge it. As James 1:2-4 states, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. You asked for faith, and He guided you through a storm. You cried for peace, and He taught you to trust amidst the fiery trials. He doesn't always calm the storm, my friend. Sometimes He calms you within the storm. Wow, man. Sometimes he allows the winds to howl and the lightning to flash, simply to demonstrate that his hand is mightier than any tempest. Remember Joseph. God elevated him. He endured betrayal by his brothers, imprisonment, false accusations, and utter abandonment. Yet, each of those trials was a sign, an undeniable indication that heaven was orchestrating something magnificent. Genesis 50:20 powerfully reminds us, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." What the enemy intended for evil, God masterfully transformed for good. Joseph's hardship wasn't proof of abandonment. It was the undeniable evidence of divine promotion in progress. When God is on the verge of helping you, he often permits everything around you to crumble, not to destroy you, but to dismantle the false supports you've relied upon. He will strip away your idols, demolish your pride, and expose anything you've trusted more than him. Why? So that when he lifts you up, no one can claim human intervention. And when he comes through, there will be no shadow of a doubt that it was the Lord who made the way. Psalm 118:23 declares the Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Yes, my friend, when God is about to help you, things may indeed appear worse before they get better. But that precisely is the sign. Well, that's the clue, the unmistakable divine fingerprint. God doesn't merely rescue you from a situation, he rescues you within it. He walks into your fiery furnace just as he did with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel 3:25. He joins you in the lion's den, as he did with Daniel, Daniel 6:22. He steps into your storm, like he did with the disciples, and declares, "Peace, be still," Mark 4:39. And what else happens when God is preparing to help you? People begin to leave. I know that hurts deeply. I understand the profound loneliness it can bring. But listen intently. Some individuals simply cannot accompany you to where God is leading. Some relationships must be severed for your destiny to be born. God will prune your life so you can bear more fruit. As John 15:2 illustrates, he cuts off every branch in me that produces no fruit, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit, so they will produce even more. He will shake your tree so that the dead branches fall away. He will remove every prop so that your only support is him. Furthermore, when God is about to help you, you will experience a holy restlessness. You won't be able to settle. The things that once brought satisfaction will now feel hollow. The places you frequented will no longer fit. The people you once ran with will struggle to understand you. Why? Because God is stirring your spirit, unsettling your comfort zone, and calling you out of the boat so you can walk on water. You will begin to dream differently, pray with new fervor, and feel a fire shut up in your bones, as Jeremiah 29 speaks of. You will sense that something profound is coming, even if you can't articulate what it is. This, my friends, is the Spirit of God preparing you. It's the voice of the Lord declaring, "Get ready, I am about to move." I declare to you today, if you refuse to give up, if you don't faint, if you hold on just a little longer, you will witness it with your own eyes. God is not a man that he should lie. Numbers 23:19 confirms, God is not human that he should lie, not a human being that he should change his mind. Does he speak and then not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? If he promised to help you, then help is unequivocally on its way. If he declared your deliverance, then deliverance is a certainty. You don't need to unravel the how. You simply need to believe. You don't need to control the outcome. You just need to trust the one who holds the outcome in his mighty hand. But when God decides to help you, absolutely nothing and no one can stop him. He doesn't ask for permission. He doesn't consult your past. He doesn't review your resume. He doesn't need human approval. When God moves, he moves with unmatchable power. When God helps, he helps with unparalleled glory. And when God lifts you, he lifts you so profoundly high that those who once looked down on you will not even recognize you. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not defeated. You are not stuck. You are in transition. You are in preparation. You are in preparation. You are in the holy hallway between the cry and the answer, between the seed and the harvest, between the pain and the promise. Do not despise this season. Do not curse the process, because when God is about to help you, he allows a breaking before the blessing, a shaking before the breakthrough. And you will know it is him. You will know not by the absence of trouble, but by the overwhelming increase of grace. Corinthians 12:9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." You will know because in the midst of your darkest night, a light will appear. In your despair, an unexplainable peace will settle. Philippians 4:7. In your lack, provision beyond reason will manifest. This is how God helps, supernaturally, undeniably. When God is about to help you, your faith will be tested like never before. I'm not speaking of comfortable faith born when bills are paid, jobs are secure, and health is robust. I'm speaking of the faith that clings on when everything else is crumbling. The faith that stands resolute when all of hell is arrayed against you. The faith that looks the devil in the eye and declares, as in Job 13:15, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." True faith doesn't blossom in perpetual sunshine. It is forged in the refining fire. It is in the furnace of affliction that your faith is purified. And when God is about to help you, he permits that fire to burn hotter, not to destroy you, but to prepare you for the immense weight of the glory that is coming. You cannot carry divine breakthrough with weak faith. You cannot handle heaven's blessings with an untwisted spirit. God isn't solely interested in giving you help. He is vitally interested in imparting strength. There is a holy war raging over your destiny, my friend, a battle in the unseen realm. Every time you kneel to pray, the enemy fights you not because of where you are, but because of where you are going. He attacks you not because you are weak, but because heaven has deposited immense power within you. There's a profound calling on your life that profoundly threatens the kingdom of darkness. It is a purpose within you that shakes hell itself. That's why the pressure has intensified. That's why you've been navigating a season that feels like overwhelming silence. It is not the absence of God. It is the tangible nearness of your help. You are in the tension of transition, and while transitions can be messy and painful, they are absolutely necessary. Before God leads you into the promised land, he must bring Egypt out of you. Before he places the crown upon your head, he must teach you to carry the cross. For the help God is sending is not merely temporary relief. It is eternal transformation. He isn't just pulling you from the pit. He is preparing you to sit on the throne. He isn't just calming your storm. He is teaching you how to command the winds in the future. Oh, do not dare let your eyes deceive you. Do not judge your future by what you see right now, for 2 Corinthians 5:7 declares, "We live by faith, not by sight." God is accomplishing more behind the scenes than you could ever possibly imagine. He is orchestrating divine connections. He is synchronizing supernatural timing. He is speaking your name in rooms you've never entered, to people you've never met. Your help is being meticulously crafted in the very courts of heaven, forged in divine fire, and scheduled to arrive at the exact moment you need it. Not early, not late, but precisely on time. And let me share something that will shake you awake. When God is about to help you, He often isolates you. You will feel misunderstood, invisible, as though your prayers are merely hitting the ceiling. But this isolation is divine. It is in the wilderness where God truly reveals Himself. It is in the cave that the whisper of God becomes crystal clear. It is in the solitary place that the anointing oil begins to flow. God speaks loudest in the quiet. Psalm 46:10 tells us, "Be still and know that I am God." Sometimes He must silence the noise of the crowd so you can clearly hear the whisper of His will. Do not despise these hidden seasons. Do not curse the cave. Do not flee from the silence. Wow. That is where God performs His deepest work. That is where He profoundly shifts your identity. That is where He breaks chains that no human eye can see. When God is about to help you, He doesn't build you on public stages. He builds you in secret. He doesn't anoint you in palaces. He anoints you in the pasture, just like David, 1 Samuel 16:12-13. And when the time is perfect, He brings you forth, not by man's invitation, but by divine appointment. Yes, there are indeed signs that God is about to help you, but they are not always the signs you anticipate. They are not the applause of men or the open doors you dreamed of. Sometimes the sign is the sudden closing of every door you thought would open. Sometimes it's the profound betrayal by a trusted friend. Sometimes it's the breaking of your own strength so that you can finally lean entirely on His. For God does not share His glory. Isaiah 42:8 proclaims, "I am the Lord. That is my name. I will not yield my glory to another." When He helps you, He does it in a way that makes it unmistakably clear. This was the hand of the Lord, not the work of man. And when that help finally arrives, when it shatters your midnight, when it floods into your parched land, when it lifts you from the ashes, it won't merely be enough to sustain you. It will overflow. God does not do half measures. When He sends help, it will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over, as Luke 6:38 promises. You won't just emerge, you'll emerge with power. You won't just be healed, you'll become a healer. You won't just be restored, you'll carry restoration for others. But hear me, beloved, before the help arrives, there must be a complete surrender. Not partial, not convenient, but total. God does not pour His immeasurable power into vessels already full of pride, fear, or self-reliance. He is actively searching for empty jars. He is looking for hearts that humbly declare, "Not my will, but yours be done." Luke 22:42. He is deeply drawn to the broken, the humble, the desperate, because those are the ones who understand that if God doesn't show up, it's truly over. And that precisely is the kind of faith He honors. That is the posture He profoundly responds to. If you've been traversing through darkness, do not quit now. If you've been fighting valiantly in the valley, do not lay down your sword. If the fire has intensified, if the tears have flowed more freely, if the silence has been deafening, then rejoice. Yes, I said, rejoice. Because the enemy doesn't fight where there is no threat. He doesn't attack what doesn't truly matter. The sheer intensity of your current battle is a powerful prophecy of your impending breakthrough. The magnitude of your storm is a direct measure of the magnitude of the help that is coming. Do you feel that stirring in your spirit right now? That is not mere emotion. That is not fleeting hype. That is the Spirit of the living God confirming to you that help is undeniably on its way. That something profound is shifting. That something is breaking. That something unexplainable is rising within you. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are being dispatched. Decisions of darkest thoughts need dispatch. The earth itself is groaning with anticipation because a child of God is about to step into their divine season. You are not forgotten in the shadows. You are planted. You are planted. And the help that is coming will not just lift you out, it will establish you. It will validate every promise God made to you when no one else was listening. It will silence the mocking voices that questioned your faith. It will bring immeasurable glory to the name of the Lord through your life. You are not simply being helped, you are being positioned for a greater purpose. God's help is not mere survival, it is absolute victory. He's not coming to merely bandage your wounds. He's coming to heal you from the inside out. He's not just paying your bills, he's teaching you to walk in abundant prosperity. He's not just saving your marriage, he's building it into a powerful testimony of resurrection power. What you are enduring now is not the conclusion of your story. It is the grand setting for God's glory to explode into your life like fire from heaven. Oh, how I wish I could reveal what awaits you on the other side of this storm. I wish you could glimpse what God is preparing in secret. But you must walk by faith. You must trust that even in the profound silence, God is still speaking. Even in the agonizing delay, God is still working diligently. Even in the throes of pain, God is still perfecting His will within you. Help is coming, child of God. It is closer than you think. And when it finally arrives, you will look back on every sleepless night, every tear-stained pillow, every lonely prayer, and you will declare with unwavering conviction, it was worth it. Every single moment was worth it. When God is about to help you, He will test your loyalty. Not because He is unaware of your heart, but because He desires for you to know it deeply. He wants you to discover what you are truly made of, what remains when every earthly support is stripped away. In the moments just before divine assistance arrives, there comes a critical moment of decision. Will you trust Him when absolutely nothing makes sense? Hey, will you believe Him when the report is dire? Will you follow Him when the path vanishes beneath your feet? We often speak of blessings, but we frequently forget that before every blessing, a profound choice must be made. Abraham had to choose to leave everything behind and journey into an unknown land. Genesis 12:4. Moses had to choose to return to the place of his greatest failure and confront Pharaoh. Exodus 3:10. Esther had to choose to risk her very life for a people who didn't even know she was their hope. Esther 4:16. And Jesus chose the cross, not because it was easy or felt good, but because He trusted the will of the Father more than the comfort of the moment. Hebrews 12:2. And when you stand on the very edge of your breakthrough, God will ask you to choose. Choose to stand firm. To choose to obey. The help of God doesn't always appear as help in the beginning. Sometimes it manifests as loss. Sometimes it feels like rejection. Sometimes it looks like doors slamming shut in your face. But understand this: every closed door is a divine redirection. Every rejection is a strategic setup for something far greater. Every heartbreak is hollowing out a deeper, more expansive place within you where His power can reside. What you perceive as God withholding from you may in fact be God meticulously protecting you. He sees the end from the very beginning. He knows what you do not. And sometimes the greatest help He can offer you is to say no to what you thought you needed. There is a peculiar pain that often precedes heaven's opening. It's the deep ache of knowing something is coming, but not knowing precisely when. It's the gnawing frustration of doing everything correctly, and yet seeing no visible change. But let me assure you, this very weight is an integral part of the miracle. This weight strengthens your spirit. This weight silences the distracting noise. This weight sharpens your unwavering focus. God is not punishing you with delay. He is meticulously preparing you for your destiny. Because when He moves, it will be so sudden, so swift, so profoundly supernatural that you will require every ounce of strength gained in the waiting room just to carry the blessing. You see, God doesn't merely desire to extricate you from your crisis. He desires to make you truly dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. That's why He doesn't rush the process. That's why He doesn't always answer on your precise timetable, because He is not raising spoiled children. He is raising mighty warriors. He is raising powerful prophets. He is raising courageous deliverers. He is raising men and women who will stride into enemy territory with divine authority and boldly declare, "Thus saith the Lord." He is raising people who know how to stand when others fall. People who have scars but still sing. People who have been through the fire and refused to bow, refused to break, refused to burn. When God is about to help you, you will begin to perceive with spiritual eyes. Whoa. The veil will start to lift. The things that once confused, you will begin to make perfect sense. You look back at the pain and discern its profound purpose. You look back at the loss and understand how it meticulously cleared space for what was infinitely better. You'll comprehend why that person had to depart, why that job didn't materialize, why that particular door never opened. God is not random. He is not careless. He is absolutely sovereign. And even when it appears that nothing is happening, something profound is always happening. God is a master craftsman. He is building something eternal within you. Something that cannot be shaken by opinion, cannot be stolen by the enemy, and cannot be dimmed by the darkness of this world. And when the help of God ultimately arrives, it will powerfully confirm what your spirit already knew, that you were never, ever alone. One, that the silence wasn't abandonment, it was strategic. That the delay wasn't denial, it was divine alignment. That the fire wasn't punishment, it was precise preparation. If you desire to know when help is truly near, look for the enemy's desperation. When the devil unleashes everything he has, when battles relentlessly follow one another, when discouragement shadows your every step, when your mind is assaulted with lies, fear, and confusion, that is not a sign to surrender. That is a powerful sign to dig in deeper. That's when you lift your hands and declare, I still believe. That's when you fall to your knees and proclaim, God, even now I trust you. Because faith forged in the fire is precisely the kind of faith that profoundly moves the heart of God. I tell you, some of you are closer than you think. You are right on the verge. The night is almost over. Nearness. The sky is beginning to shift with the dawn. The enemy knows it. That's why he's trying so desperately to break you now. That's why your thoughts have been under relentless attack. That's why you've been more weary and anxious than usual. He is attempting to force your surrender before the breakthrough arrives. Don't you give him that satisfaction. Don't you let the one who never created you determine your magnificent future. The same God who brought you this far is the God who will carry you the rest of the way. When God is about to help you, you will feel a holy boldness rise up inside of you, a divine courage that defies all logic and facts, a confidence that stems not from your own strength, but from the unshakable knowing that he who promised is faithful. Hebrews 10:23. This boldness is not arrogance. It is spiritual clarity. It is the resounding voice of the Spirit within you declaring, stand firm. You were made for this. The battle is not yours. It belongs to the Lord. 2 Chronicles 20:15. There will be moments when you feel utterly unqualified. Moments when you look at your flaws, your failures, your past, and genuinely wonder why God would ever choose you. But let me gently remind you, he never called the qualified. He powerfully qualifies the called. He chose David when he was merely a shepherd boy. 1 Samuel 16:11-13. He called Moses despite his stutter. Exodus 4:10-12. He used Paul even with blood on his hands. Acts 9:1-19. And if he is calling you, it is not because of what you've done. It is solely because of who he is. So, lift up your heads, square your shoulders, and fix your gaze on the hills, from where your help comes. Psalm 121:2. It is coming, and it is coming with fire, with justice, with profound healing, with restoration, with full recompense. What you lost will pale in comparison to what is being returned. What the locust devoured, God will completely restore. Joel 2:25. What the enemy stole, God will fully repay. What you thought was irrevocably over, God is about to miraculously resurrect. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to entertain doubt or dance with fear. This is the time to hold fast to the promise. This is the time to remind your very soul of who your God truly is. He is not just the God of the mountaintop. He is the God who walks with you through the fiercest battles. And when he shows up in unparalleled glory, in immense power, in absolute fullness. Can you feel it? Can you sense the profound shift in the atmosphere? That is not mere emotion. It is the Spirit of God awakening your hope. That is not wishful thinking. It is divine anticipation. That is your spirit responding to the tangible nearness of heaven's help. The same God who parted the Red Sea, the same God who rained manna from the sky, the same God who raised Lazarus from the dead, he is with you right now, and he has not changed. Malachi 3:6. Hebrews 13:8. 5 essential principles for happiness and success in 2026. Based on the profound truths we've explored today, here are 5 crucial principles to apply to your life for happiness and success in 2026. 1. Embrace the process of preparation. Understand that discomfort, trials, and even moments of isolation are often God's way of preparing you for a greater purpose. Don't resist these seasons. Lean into them, knowing they are forging strength and character within you. Just as Romans 5:3-4 states, we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. 2. Cultivate unwavering faith in the fire. True faith isn't passive, it's active, especially when circumstances are challenging. When everything seems to be falling apart, that's precisely when your faith is being refined. Choose to believe God's promises even when you don't see the immediate evidence, as Hebrews 11:1 defines. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. 3. Practice radical surrender. Release your need for control and completely surrender your plans, fears, and desires to God. His power flows most freely into empty vessels. This posture of humility opens the door for Him to work miraculously in your life. Remember Jesus' prayer in Luke 22:42, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. 4. Sharpen your spiritual discernment. In a world full of distractions and deceptive appearances, it's vital to listen to the Holy Spirit's guidance. Not every open door is God's door, and not every voice is His. Seek peace and alignment as your guide. Proverbs 3:5-6 advises. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. 5. Step out in holy boldness. God often calls us to action, even when it feels uncomfortable or illogical. Obedience unlocks supernatural help. Don't play it safe if it means stifling the divine calling on your life. Be courageous and take the step of faith, for as Joshua 1:9 declares, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. My friends, if you are experiencing any of these signs, the intensified battle, the season of isolation, the deep restlessness, the testing of your faith, the breaking of old supports, or the holy boldness rising within, then rejoice. Do not despair. These are not signs of abandonment, but powerful prophecies of your imminent breakthrough. This is not the end of your story, but the beginning of God's most glorious chapter in your life. Now is the time to stand firm. Now is the time to trust beyond what you see. Now is the time to surrender fully to the Lord, for His help is closer than you can imagine, bringing not just relief but radical transformation. Lift your voice in praise, even in the struggle, for your breakthrough is on the horizon. Don't just wish for it, declare it. Believe it. Act on it. Act on it. And watch as the God of miracles invades your life with undeniable power and overflowing glory. What one principle will you commit to applying this year to invite God's divine help into your life?